Cool. I'm
All
just sitting over here, going to listen to 60 songs that explain the 90s in the background. I probably won't be able to find it. I'll just mention it to you.
60 songs
That explain the 90s.
Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't Blink-182 a part of this?
Well, I think he covers a Blink-182 song. Yes.
God.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing about the 90s. What's the fascinating decade, the 90s, in terms of quality versus quantity of music and genre. We've actually talked about 90s music a lot recently with the Woodstock 99 thing, and then we were talking about, so we'll get into
music was really weird, and so were pants. Welcome to Bitter Coffee. My name is Kelly Coffee.
I am Darek Fanton.
Good morning.
It is a good morning, or nearly afternoon, because I can't get out of my house on time and get over here.
You know what? Here's the funny thing.
Yeah.
When you say to me, let's just say on a Wednesday, yep, see you at 10 a.m. You know what I do? I add 2 hours.
Put something in your calendar for 11:30,
It's
12.
fine. You know what? I like the fact that it's kind of fluid.
I don't love the fact that it's kind of fluid, but I will say that this morning when I think yesterday I had said 11ish, I'll be over there. As I sent it, I thought rapid fire. I thought probably not. Mm-hmm. And also
Mountain time.
Kelly probably knows that I don't mean that. It's a suggestion. I like the idea that I'm on mountain time.
Right?
Oh, did you mean you thought I meant Eastern? No.
No, I don't want to make those assumptions. And what's really going to screw you up is we're setting the clocks back, which is one of my least favorite things.
So to date the recording of this podcast, we're tonight, right? Tonight?
Yeah.
At the morning, 3 a.m. or something like that, we set the clocks back. That's just never been my scene.
I don't understand.
It's ridiculous.
I don't get it.
And people always talk about I honestly don't know the actual origin of it. I always hear the story about it had to do with farming.
And Benjamin Franklin was
involved. And that's enough for a lot of people. It's not enough for me. I don't understand it. Of course, from a parenting standpoint, it's an absolute nightmare. Because your kids don't care what time the clock says. I
don't care what time the clock says.
Inconsequential. Neither do most of us. And then we're going to have to do the thing where we walk around for 2 weeks, and at the end of the workday, everyone points out the window and talks about how dark it is.
Do you have that person in your workplace, the second they walk, that clock's wrong?
Yeah.
You know what? It's 8:04 on a Monday.
That person...
Shut your mouth.
That person... there's two people. There's the person who will say that clock is wrong.
Yep.
And then there's me, who will say nothing and get up in the middle of a meeting and walk over to the clock and take it off the wall because I'm tall enough and change it and put it back on the wall. That's
so height
me.
And anger
yes
create the perfect storm.
Height and an intolerance for inconsistency
fair enough
creates a situation where I will walk over to a clock and change the time. People look every year, at least one of them in the meeting rooms I'm in is wrong, and every year someone is staring at me as I'm walking to the clock and taking it off the wall. And then at some point they're like, oh, okay, I get it, you're changing the clock because it's just I can't handle it.
We'll see you in 6 months when you do it again.
See you in 6 months. We'll be right back here. Yeah.
So by the time this podcast comes out, we will be 4 days into
yes.
Will we time. Be in so I hope everybody is better rested.
Easter Daylight Time?
Yes.
Okay. Is that
EDT is what we call it in the time biz.
There is, as a marketer who has to write dates and times from time to time in things, time to time.
I see what you did
there. We always have a conversation about, do we need to put that third letter in? Does anyone care that it is EDT? The worst thing is if you put EST and you're wrong.
Oh.
We have gotten email replies to stuff that we put EST in or whatever.
See, and somebody would be like, estimated.
EDT. Right, that's true. That is true. The
the middle letter's wrong. Shut up.
Thanks for reading the email, I guess. I don't know.
Thank you for the fine-tooth comb edit.
That no one asked you for. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing okay here. You were listening on Wednesday, or hopefully you listen right when the show comes out. I'm always curious. I've heard from a few folks, Shelly specifically, shout out Shelly.
Hey, Shelly.
Who listens on her, I think she said on her runs on Saturdays.
Yes.
And so that's interesting to me. I wonder if other people have a standard bitter coffee listening day or
El
time.
Diablo?
Yes, that's
Wednesdays.
true. He was mentioning that he is like, if it doesn't come out on time, he's very upset because he's a Wednesday listener. I appreciate that, John.
You know,
Thank
if there's one thing, there's many things I love about John.
Mm-hmm.
He
Same.
holds me to such a high standard when it comes to release dates.
Getting back to work, one of my professional development opportunities is holding people accountable. And so I appreciate John and his capabilities to hold us accountable to our podcast delivery.
It's what we aim to do,
And
but
I
we're
say
not
us,
always successful.
These days it's just you. I don't know if people are aware, but Kelly has been editing the show since I've been back on it. And I've got to say it's been a breath of fresh air for my mental health. And also it's sounded great. So great job, Kelly.
Oh, well, thank you.
Shout out to you.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Got some feedback.
Yes. Okay. I'm interested.
Well, first of all, let me back up a
Sure.
minute. So speaking of people who listen to the show, I lost my train of thought because that's where I am in my day.
Choo choo.
I want to note, although we put it up on the socials last week, we have surpassed 10,000 downloads.
Wow. Wah, 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 wah. What a fucking crazy thing that is.
Right?
10,000, and that's unique downloads.
It's
I
unique.
should note,
It's 10,000
Kelly.
unique downloads.
Also worth noting that our podcast hosting company, Libsyn, actually liked our Instagram
saw
post
that.
about it. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the shout out, y'all.
We're
Guys and gals.
both making this really weird face right now, kind of like one of those like a cartoon aristocrat.
Yeah.
And then maybe something is painful.
It's a snotty face, but if we'd been struck in the head, like
Yes.
there's like a confusion about it. But yeah, we're pretty proud of it. 10,000 unique downloads in under 50 episodes, which another milestone we are approaching, if I'm not mistaken. I believe this may be our 48th episode.
Jesus Christ.
I went back and counted. I think that's where we are. We're at
Okay.
somewhere in the 48 range. So
Okay.
that's pretty wild. 10,000 unique downloads before 50 episodes. That's pretty crazy.
That's kind of a big deal. I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm not a math person.
there's like
but
some.
there's some
I know there's
calculations.
a 2. There's a 2 in there, and some zeros. I'm not entirely sure where they go, but
But thank you all.
any
Is
of
the
you,
point?
any of you math heads out there,
Yeah, Brandon, are you listening to the show anymore? I don't even know if you listen, but if you could possibly just hash that out in terms of like what's our average listens per show, downloads per show per episode. Yeah, where are we tracking before 1 million? Can you just let us know how many episodes we're going to need to hit 1 million?
I
That
think
seems
that's
reasonable,
yeah,
right?
that's totally reasonable.
Yeah.
And me without my abacus. God damn it. So, I do want to thank every single person
Yes, thank you.
for listening to our show because it does mean a lot.
We appreciate it. It is this little corner of the internet that we've carved out is a special place for us. So
bit.
thank you.
Got some feedback.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah. Longtime listener of the show, Collier. She called me the other day and she said, "Hey, have you ever watched Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Yeah.
And you know what? I knew exactly why.
The Chang Report?
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You know what, Tim Chang? No wonder you're not giving us an episode.
Yeah, I hate to. Yeah, we're burying the lead here. FYI, Tim's had a tough couple weeks, and so he was not able to deliver us a Chang Report prior to the recording today. He apologizes. We apologize. We get if the listening just drops off after this moment in the show because there's no Chang Report.
But here's the thing. I want to believe, and I think you probably feel similarly, we're the type of organization that will afford people time off.
Oh, absolutely. We are flexible in terms of work hours. Yeah. Absolutely flexible. Yep.
If we have 1 hour every 2 weeks, anything else, do what you want.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter.
Exactly. Tim is completely unpaid by us and therefore in no way responsible
He makes
to us.
the same exact amount as you and I do.
He makes more, I think, especially
Yeah,
than
he
you. You bought some hats. There's a lot of equipment on the table right now. Tim's actually raking it in comparison to you. With
May
this
God
podcast.
bless the Polarity Foundation.
Yeah, again, shout out to the Polarity Foundation. So Tim,
Just found my thumb drive I'm looking for 2 weeks.
oh, congratulations
All
on
right.
that. That's great news. Behind the mixer, right where you put it.
Right where I put it, so I wouldn't forget where it was.
Right, exactly.
Jesus Christ, I'm at that point in the semester.
So getting back to Mystery Science Theater 3000, I believe that when we first instituted the Chang Report, I said, I may have said to you, we should Mystery Science Theater 3000 this thing, meaning, and I'm assuming this is where the feedback is coming from that you're getting to, talking over the Chang Report.
We stepped all over the Chang.
Listen, we are beholden in that regard only to Tim as far as I am concerned, and he fucking loves it.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt kind of bad.
So what did Collier actually say? Like, give me a clearer idea of what her feedback. Shut the fuck up. Was that?
Well,
basically?
I think that was the takeaway message.
I see. Okay.
But it was wrapped in with a much prettier bow.
I got it. Lots of prefacing and getting into it tactfully. I got it.
And I had to agree with her because when I was listening to the show, there were a few things where I was like, oh, I don't know what Tim said just there.
Oh, yeah, that's a
So-
problem. We gotta work on that. So maybe in his thoughtfulness and kindness, rather than say that he's on strike for an episode because we keep walking all over his bit, he just said, "Oh, I didn't have time. I didn't have time this week." Maybe that's the issue. So Tim, if that is indeed it, and you'll never want to tell us that directly, we're sorry, and we'll
Tim
try
mad at us?
and give you some space. I hope not. I can't live like that.
I don't know if I could handle a breakup
No, I don't.
with Tim Chang.
Like Destiny's Child says, I don't think I could handle this. I do not think I
do
could
say
handle
that.
this. Yeah. I don't think I'm ready for that jelly. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not. So, Tim, if that is the case, I'm sorry. Collier, we are sorry. Did you turn the light on your brand new phone, Kelly, by accident? I'm sure it was a total accident. You didn't mean to
I don't, because
draw attention.
I don't know how to turn it off.
Hold the button. Hold the light. Hold the light button.
Hold the light.
Hold the light.
No, it doesn't work.
No?
Doesn't work.
There you go.
Oh.
You got it.
Okay. Yeah, shut up. I got a new phone.
Oh, I accidentally drew attention to my brand new Max Pro over here.
I was due for a new phone. So I dropped off the dogs the other day to get groomed. One Maisel and one Butchie.
My God, they're adorable.
They are
Yeah,
cute,
if you
aren't
haven't
they?
seen it, I don't think we've put anything on the Bitter Coffee socials around
No.
Butchie and Maisel. We should maybe do that because Maisel's haircut. My Lord.
I know. My
What a
sweet
doll.
Lord.
Yeah, my sweet, sweet Lord. What a beautiful little
Hallelujah.
pupper. Yeah, she's just, she got a nice little trim around the eyes.
It's like a short and sporty.
Exactly. Tight and ready. And she is just, I hate to even do it. I hesitated because
Me
I'm like,
too.
too real.
Right.
Too real. But yeah, they're just so cute. So you went and got them groomed.
Yep.
And did like just inspiration strike or
It did because for whatever reason, I started. I read something about how AT&T gives money to the Trump people or whatever. And I barely read the article.
but enough to get the gist.
It's kind of like when you're trying to break up with somebody and you're just waiting for that reason. You're like, oh, that's it.
I mean,
it.
everything else was fine.
I got a
but
cheeseburger and she got a hamburger. Clearly, this isn't going to work out.
burnt that toast this morning and it smelled up the house for an hour. I got to get out of this thing. That's really
Remind me to tell you about the issue I had with a smell in my apartment.
Okay.
We'll get back to it. So anyway,
Put
so
a
I
pin
dropped
in
off
that
the
one.
dogs to get groomed, and I was looking for a reason to leave AT&T, and I saw the Verizon store, and I was
Gotcha.
like, I'm just going to go there.
Yeah.
Just going to see.
just gonna peruse.
Just gonna take a look. Kick
That's
the
like
tires.
when you
as they
desperately
say.
need a new car and you go to a lot just to look around.
You know what I call that? Looking at puppies. Let's just go look at puppies. Because you just never go look.
Yep.
Oh, all those dogs are adorable and available for adoption. Bye-bye.
Right now.
You know,
anyway,
you-
let's move on with our day. Yeah.
I have to go make a call.
Just gonna buy this carrier. We don't need to put a dog in it. We're good.
Look at these
Bye-bye.
sweaters that are on sale for dogs. Might as well buy them for if and when we ever get a dog.
Shout out to Sarah Lavoie, who essentially impulse bought a brand new car last week with this exact same scenario. Went to a lot to just drive something, bought it.
You know, that's what happened when I bought my first Toyota with Michelle.
I do.
I dropped her off so she could get the oil changed on her truck.
She came back.
I came back with a new car. Not even kidding.
They don't call them car salesmen for nothing.
No, they do not. So anyway, so I got this phone because I needed a new phone.
Yep.
And okay, everybody knows that Vermont's a really small town, right?
Right. One big small town.
Here's yet another example why.
Mm-hmm.
So
boy.
Walk into the Verizon store, and I want to say that I'm a fairly good judge of people, but really I'm not.
Okay. You want to say you are. It's not true.
But I love the person who sells me my cars. Okay. Not like I buy cars every time.
my incredible 9-car garage full of Maseratis. That guy.
You know, my Maserati salesperson.
Jean-Luc is very nice to me.
No, shout out to Rob Plouffe at Heritage
There
Toyota.
We go. Thanks, Rob. Sure he's listening.
And anyway, so yeah, I needed a phone and saw this person who looked, approachable and friendly, but not too much.
Great. That's what you want in a salesperson.
Turns out, shout out to Keegan. Keegan, my new Verizon representative.
Ah, yes.
Is the son of a woman that I used to work with at the hospital.
No kidding. Mm-hmm. Now, did you know that going in?
Had no idea.
Okay. Was it a last name situation?
No.
Oh, wow.
He mentioned that and I don't know why this happened because fate is what it is. Mm-hmm. And it's a long story, but I'm going to really try and make it short. So he asked my email address.
Will not hold you to that.
And please don't. He asked my email address, so I gave my UNH address. I don't know why. And he's like, you get a student discount.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Already paying off that grad school.
And first he said, do you teach there? And I was like, no. And I said, I'm a student. Oh, what are you studying? And I said, I'm in a master's program. Oh, for what? Social work. And then it was what I usually get, that's so great. It's a common response. Oh, what are you going to school for? Social work. Yeah. Oh, good for you.
Now, am I hearing that correctly, which is that they actually mean better you than me? Is that what they mean by that? Because I feel like
yes,
good for you and not me is the thing that they're saying.
Bless your soul.
Bless your heart.
Kind of thing. Like,
Got it. Okay.
But thanks for trying for, a degree that's actually going to do something for you. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
So we started talking about, I'm going to school, and we started talking about social work, and he has a connection to some social workers, and he was wonderful.
That's great.
So yeah, small world that it is. My Verizon salesperson is the son of a former coworker. She was actually the woman back when I used to run half marathon. She was my running coach.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's very cool.
Best advice I ever got.
Yeah.
And this is advice, and I'm going to curse. So sorry, people who don't like the cursing.
You're on the wrong show if you've ever heard me talk.
It was, you know what? Just slow the fuck down.
That is great running advice.
And you know what? It worked.
Yeah.
It really worked.
Yeah. That's actually the advice that almost every golf coach gives too. Because everyone who ever tries to swing a golf club for the first time tries to swing it as hard as they possibly can.
That's what I would do.
And it never works. And that's how I swung for the first 3 years I played golf. Not that I'm a great golfer. That's how I swung my club. There you go. And the best advice is always slow the fuck down. Mm-hmm.
Guess we have our show title.
Yeah. How many letters do we have to edit out in terms of
two.
I think 2, right? Yeah. F star
I don't even
K.
think that Apple Podcast cares anymore. They don't care.
Raking in dough. They do not give a shit about titles that might be offensive.
So
we should test that theory at some point. So anyway, congrats on the new phone.
Yeah, thanks.
So this is something I want to talk about later, but I'll talk about it now because I want to mention it because we were just talking about
I'm not
testing.
done with my phone story.
Oh, sorry. Oh, right, because you mentioned this is another point. So let's put a pin in testing
and apartment smells.
Apartment smells, and we'll get back to offensive names for things.
Should I write this down?
No. We'll forget the stuff that doesn't matter.
I do have a list.
No, it's fine.
Nope, that's the end of my list. All right. So I had to buy a cover for my phone.
Yes.
And when I buy a cover for a phone, it's like, it's a big deal.
Well,
It's a commitment,
There's
right?
a commitment and there's too many choices.
And I got it's like a light blue phone.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I hate when phone cases have fingerprints on them.
Oh.
Like, it's just, it's probably stuff from my childhood. Who's on those?
There's damage there.
Oh my God.
Fine.
So I have to get like 4 of them
Yeah.
and then figure out like which ones I'm going to keep and which ones are going back.
Sure.
So the one that I kept, it's a navy blue.
For the record, minimalistic navy blue,
Yeah.
nothing ostentatious.
No.
But it's matte.
It's like a matte.
Yeah, which is, I'm assuming, the fingerprint thing. Great idea. Yep.
So included in the cover was a note.
And not just a note, it's like a card.
It's a thank you
I
note.
saw it folded on your notes, and I was like, did someone send us a thank you card? No,
yeah,
someone
they
sent
did.
you a thank you
Yeah, they
card
did.
for your phone purchase, your phone case purchase.
So I'm not going to read the whole thing
Sure.
because
It's lengthy.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
But you know how it starts out? Dear sweet angel. Look. Right? Dear sweet angel. We are so thankful you purchased our original product. I mean, me too. Right?
In Amazon search, I'm looking for iPhone original product.
Right.
Please show me all original products for iPhone.
Comma, sweet angel.
Sweet angel. Yours truly.
Let me see, yada, yada, yada. It's just, apparently I'm a customer for life.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
just inducting you into the club right away.
As we continue to grow, our commitment to you as a customer will remain the same. So
I would like to see that commitment scale. Just saying.
we will always do our best to exceed your expectations. I doubt it. And bring you a unique, durable, and quality producer,
Oh. Okay.
not product. So maybe they don't care for my editing style.
Are you in the market for a producer?
I didn't think I was, but
Do
who
they
am
also
I?
sell podcast services?
I'm just
that
a
we're not
dear
aware of?
sweet angel. What the hell do I know?
So from henceforth on the podcast introductions, if you could go ahead and say, "Welcome to Bitter Coffee, I'm Sweet Angel." I'll stay Darek Fanton, but if you could be Sweet Angel.
I don't see how I could be otherwise moving forward.
Likewise, Kelly.
So
Sorry, sweet angel.
And you know what? It's going to take some getting used to.
Right. It's a transition.
I tried to have Michelle refer to me as Sweet Angel, and I didn't bother to offer any backstory, and she was just like, no. Not even like a full sentence.
No.
So and I think this is great. I don't know, maybe I should find a nickname for them as well. I don't know. I've been using my right hand lately, and I don't know why. Anyway, if you if you have any problems in the future,
Just in
please
general?
feel free to contact us by Amazon. We will be there for you at any time and anywhere.
Wow. Talk
Yeah.
about a commitment.
Thank you so much. You are always the first for us.
Huh.
Sincerely, the Cord King team. So, shout out to the Cord King team.
And they sent that to you as their very first customer, it sounds like. So that's amazing that they were able to get that together.
Once you reach Sweet Angel status, doors really open. So,
Which customer group will be receiving this card? I'm thinking just the Sweet Angels.
that's what I think. Yeah, and if we could fold that thank you card in half, like
yes.
a place setting.
It does look like a name card for a table. Yep.
So, as Sweet Angels do, if anybody has a problem anytime or anywhere, contact me.
Sure.
And then
you can
I
deliver the
will-
message, the conduit through which the message will get
I'm
to
the Cord King
team.
conduit.
Yeah. Hashtag Cord King conduit. We should
That's
put a
11
picture-
minutes of our life we'll never get back.
We should put a picture of that card on. So I like the idea of like we'll post something else about thank you for 10,000 downloads, but post the front of that card, and
Okay.
then like maybe we'll throw the rest of the language.
I'm
up
just
there,
going to
too.
give this to you.
Okay, I'll take care of it.
There
I'll
you
take
go.
care of it. Thanks.
I'm going to need that back because I think it should
It's
be
gonna go up here.
framed.
I think maybe right here.
Yeah.
On the on-air sign
Or something preserved somehow. I don't know. Anyway.
Shadow box it. Okay.
So that's my week.
Congratulations. I mean, reaching Sweet Angel status
And 10,000
in the
unique
same
downloads.
week as
I know.
10,000 unique downloads.
I know.
That's pretty big, Kelly. That's big time stuff.
Yeah. Good for you.
Good for you.
So I had a weird smell in my apartment. transitions
are a thing that we don't use. Moving on.
So I decided the other night, because, everybody knows, like, I'm not a big person when it comes to the cooking.
Sure.
I make really good pizzas.
Yep.
If there's things that I make and I make them really well, but like I stay in my damn lane.
That's fine. And I think that's okay. I really do. I think you pick some expertise and go with it and stick to it. And then everything else outsource.
I decided to make a turkey burger the other night, which sounds very simple.
So, and we're talking like making the turkey burger or like taking it out of the freezer?
Taking it out of the freezer.
Okay, cool.
Like, Trader Joe's made the turkey burger.
Got it.
But I have to heat it
up. The turkey burger. Okay. Yep.
So I don't know what happened, but
as is so much the start of stories of weird smells. I don't know what happened here.
So, the turkey burger turned out fine.
Okay, great.
And for those of you keeping score at home, I had it on an English muffin with ketchup and a pickle. Yeah. So I'm a sweet angel. I'm going to treat myself.
Something about the nooks and the crannies of a English muffin with a hamburger. Really great choice. Turkey burger in this case. Great job.
So,
but something transpired.
Yeah, okay. I couldn't get the turkey burger smell out of my apartment.
Weird. That always makes me curious if they're like adding a chemical smell, like separate.
Do you smell it?
No, I don't. I don't smell any turkey. There's no residual turkey burger. Okay. I don't know if you smudged the place.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a series of like air filters and pure.
Gotcha. You brought Michelle in, and like that scene from Apollo 13, you just poured a bunch of stuff onto a table, and you're like, "We got to get this smell out. I got to get this filter to fit into the hole for this." Yep. Thank you. My arm was on the other side, and we got to figure out how to get this turkey burger smell out.
Yeah. So Ed Harris was not here to help me.
In his lovely vest. It's really a shame.
So we got it figured out. So I try to purify the air, which meant getting a fan and opening up a window when it's 34 degrees outside. That plan was short-lived.
An air purifier? Yeah, it's called a fan pointed out.
Yeah.
That's how I purify the air in here.
Then I realized when I bought a fan over the summer months, that there was an air purifier option on it, which I kind of remember seeing when I unboxed it.
Yeah. We just got a humidifier, like a big-ass humidifier for the house because... It's a long story. But
I want to get into the house.
The previous owners had the house had wood floors put in recently, and there was this whole thing as they were exiting, talking about like the humidity was important to maintaining the floors because if they dried out, the boards would separate or something.
Okay,
and that like put the fear of God in Hannah and I about the humidity level in the house.
Was it like as they were leaving? No, it was like here's your keys.
No, we had a conversation with them at one point, and that was one of the things that came up. It's like make sure to keep the house at a good humidity level. And we're like, okay, so we have like humidity monitors that we got. Like it's the thing that we're most concerned about, even though it's probably completely inconsequential.
You know who can talk to you about that?
Who?
Michelle Pilar.
I'm sure she could.
Yeah, she has one.
Okay.
Oh yeah, she lives and dies by the humidifier.
The air quality in Michelle's apartment is second to none, unparalleled. The point I was going to make is that our humidifier has like a UV air, I guess, purifying option too. So there's like a UV light built in that will like shine UV light on the steam as it's coming out to like make sure there's no, I guess, like contaminants or bacteria in it. Okay. That's the idea anyway.
Sounds magical yet really fake.
It seems completely made up. Seems like a placebo effect item. And I'm pretty sure the UV light is like the one that you'd have like on a flashlight on your keys. Like it's not like a really intense UV light. It's not like cleaning your phone situation.
Okay.
It's very like the idea of a UV cleaner.
Okay.
It's like I might as well turn it on. Similar situation where it was like I guess it has an option. I don't see any reason not to use it, so I'm going to turn it on. Couldn't hurt. I guess.
It seemed to work.
Yeah, UV light is one of those things that people are just like that'll fix things, right?
That'll help.
I know nothing about it, but it sounds scientific. So
I got one for my phone at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yes, you had mentioned that you got one of the phone cleaners. Yeah.
I don't know where it is now, but like when it's done, it shouts. Like you close the lid and it's cleaning in process.
Wow.
Yeah, and then when the process is complete, there's more shouting.
Step away from the closing door.
Back up. Clean phone coming at you.
Stay away from the bubble jets.
So
anybody out there gets that reference?
So I had a turkey smell in my house, and it's now gone.
I can confirm that having not known that when I came in, I did not detect any abnormal smells of any kind. So congratulations on removing that.
I have 2 boxes of muffin mix.
I see that.
Because that was going to be my plan.
That's your
because for 2 days I was like, this apartment stinks.
And if it's going to smell of something, I prefer cranberry muffins. It's going to be either
cranberry muffins or pumpkin bread.
There you go.
Or you know what? Maybe a pumpkin muffin.
Because nobody's leaving a house and telling people about going over and saying like, it stank of pumpkin bread in there. Like, no, they're going to be like, it smells like pumpkin bread. But turkey burgers, on the other hand.
Yeah, it smells like meat in her house. Smells like a meat house.
There's the title. Smells like meat in here. I just left my hand on. I just noticed that it makes a different noise, like a more defeated noise if you leave your hand on it.
Let's do it again.
And go ahead.
Yeah.
But we have alternates. As you mentioned to me earlier when I sat down, in case we have any kind of like ethereal, that's what she said references.
You ready?
She doth say.
And I just got a flashback to Catholic Church as a child, and I'm going to have to close this shit out now. Thanks, everybody. Sweet angel out.
Get you some myrrh or anything like
I do have frankincense.
You do have frankincense.
It was one of the methods I was using to rid my home of turkey smell.
Popular anti-turkey smell.
It's fine. And I will say that I have had a little bit of candy today.
Okay. As we all have in the last week or so.
Well, you know, it was Halloween. And then prior to that, I decided to buy candy because I was going to be ahead of the game. I don't even know what I was thinking. I don't give out Halloween candy. But, shout out to everybody who rolled up for Michelle's 50th.
Oh, hell yeah.
Such a great time.
So we, as I had anticipated we would, basically Irish goodbye'd that thing about an hour after the show recording.
Me too.
Did it? But I'm curious, did the rest of the afternoon and evening
was super fun.
Awesome. Great to hear.
Everybody carved out some pumpkins.
Nice. There was quite a pumpkin carving situation going on.
People were serious.
Yeah.
I couldn't concentrate.
Yeah.
I was trying to like talk to people and then
too many things to do.
Yeah. So I learned that I'm really good at like cleaning out a pumpkin, but then the carving, like I was like, oh, I'm gonna do something really clever. I'm going to carve the word boo. And it looked like 800 and I just threw it in the compost. I was done.
1, no one's ever thought of that. 2,
right. Boo.
Bees, as it turns out, in a pumpkin, super difficult.
Really difficult.
I discovered over the...
it was like 800 with an exclamation point. Cool.
I'm just a big fan of that movie.
800 unique downloads.
This is a celebratory pumpkin. Wasn't it 10,000? You shut your mouth. Who has the space for 5 characters on a pumpkin?
And a comma.
And a comma. Where are we living right now? I discovered over Halloween that the wife of a good friend of mine, shout out Kyla, good friend of mine who I used to work with.
Hey, Kyla.
Her wife is like, and I'm not kidding, I may have to put this up on the socials, a like profesh pumpkin carver. Like, out of nowhere.
I would say that Tim Chang is going to give any pumpkin carver a run for his or her pumpkin money.
I totally agree that, like, Tim Chang does some serious work. He did a Biggie Smalls pumpkin over the holiday that was
nuts.
Just mind-boggling to me. And I am not stealing this from the internet. I am taking this from her Facebook page.
What the frig?
So...
Are you kidding me?
Sabrina, you do some amazing work. If you just happen to be listening to this podcast, I have no idea if Kyla even listens to this on the regular, but...
Wow.
And hang on.
I even know who that is. That's Freddy Krueger.
It's Freddy Krueger. Yeah. Hang on, let me show you
Having
the next
never seen any of the movies, I know who he is.
Speaking of having never seen movies, and I don't know about this one or not for you, the fuck...
Oh, I know who this is.
Yep.
These are the Harry Potter kids.
Those are the children from Harry Potter.
It's the
Potters. Yes, that is.
It's Mr. and Mrs. Potter's kids. The Potter's kids from up the street.
The Potter's kids from next door.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's Harry Potter.
But I tried to carve Boo. I carved numbers into my pumpkins. So, I mean, I don't want to brag.
Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
Yeah, shout out Sabrina.
Did she do that like for a living?
So here's the thing. I mean, we don't hang out, sadly. I'd love to hang out with them more. What with the pandemic and all. So I don't.
And all the pumpkin carving
And all the pumpkin carving time. Exactly. I don't know if this is like, it sounds like this is something she's done for years and does all the time and is apparently a very accomplished artist. I knew none of that. Wow. So just like the couple days before Halloween, these just showed up on my Facebook timeline and I was like, what?
Jesus
what?
H.
Like it's insane. She does amazing work.
What is happening?
Not to throw any shade at your 800 that you immediately put in the compost pile.
800 unique booze.
Don't we all wish? I did like a 12-minute pumpkin carving with my wife and my child the day of Halloween or day before, that I was like, cool, it's got 2 eyes and a mouth, carve some teeth in, done. Dunzo. Mm-hmm. But I felt the same way. I like the cleaning the pumpkin out.
I didn't like that until I learned. I'm like, wow, I'm really good at this.
Yeah, you can develop an interest in something when you discover you have talent for it.
Mm-hmm. And then I realized that I hadn't carved out a face yet.
Uh-huh.
So I kind of leaned into, well, I mean, I could, clean out your pumpkin if you want, which sounded really awkward. There we go.
I needed that one because it felt right.
God damn it. So yeah, but the party was a success.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Michelle's brother and his partner Jack. Shout out to both of them.
Jersey Jack.
Jersey Jack, wonderful human being.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Really like him.
Great to hear.
Yeah, it was great. It was really great to have. It was a very unique mix of people, and I really enjoyed myself. And so did Michelle. I was going somewhere with the candy thing.
Had a lot of candy today. No.
Nope.
Here's a question I have for you that we were examining
my palm
at work.
is itchy. It means I'm gonna get rich. Right?
Oh.
Or get money or
is that
lose
what that
money.
means?
Yeah.
Or have psoriasis? One of those things.
Yeah, I think it's more psoriasis is going to cost me a lot of money.
You're going to have to spend a lot of money.
I'm psoriatic.
We were discussing at work whether the shape of a candy impacts your enjoyment of that candy. And here's how this came about. Without having pre-planned this, one of my coworkers and my boss actually brought in Christmas York peppermint patties, which were shaped like snowflakes maybe, or Christmas trees or something.
Okay.
And then I had brought in the fall York peppermint patties shaped like pumpkins.
What a festive environment.
We try and make it fun. Bring in some candy.
Sure.
We have a snack drawer that we keep very much to marketing so that no one else can have it.
Makes sense.
We're sharing people that only share amongst ourselves.
You have to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, right? It's just
Michelle
like
has walked by the window 3 or 4 times.
I keep seeing a shadow behind you that is reflected from the window, and I'm wondering, like, who's on your porch?
It's ghosts.
It's just ghosts.
It's spirits. It's turkey meat spirits.
They still haunt this home. But we were trying to figure out if the Christmas ones or the fall ones were better or worse than one another. And we actually determined that the Christmas ones were better. Like, pretty much across the board, everyone agreed that the Christmas ones were better. But then the sub-theory was that it's because they were fresher.
Oh.
And therefore better. But like peppermint patties being fresh is not something I think it matters that much. So
what holiday do you equate with peppermints?
Christmas.
Yeah. So maybe they boost the
interesting. Maybe they boost
peppermint
the peppermint content for the holiday one. This is a fascinating theory. I like this theory. I like the idea that there's a subliminal kind of like, these are better because they're for the holiday, which is really our wheelhouse.
Yep.
And we, York peppermint patties, good all year round, but in the holiday season, they really get special. Interesting. If anybody out there is listening from whoever makes York peppermint patties, Hershey's maybe, let us know.
I think it's York.
The folks at York.
Right.
Nanu.
It's called the York peppermint patty, right? So I'm assuming. No, hang on. I'm going to walk you through this.
Okay.
Okay. So a Toyota RAV4 is made by whom?
I believe Toyota.
Okay. Yep. And Nestle's Crunch is made by
Nestle.
So a York peppermint patty.
Ford. No?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Got it.
100%.
Hey, Siri. Who makes York peppermint patties?
Here's an answer from wikipedia.org. York peppermint patty. is an American dark chocolate enrobed peppermint confection introduced in 1940 and currently produced by the Hershey Company.
Hershey's. Hershey's makes York peppermint patties. So Hershey's, why they're not called Hershey's peppermint patties, that's just bad marketing. From a marketing professional, may I say to you, just change them to Hershey's peppermint patties.
I really am.
I hope everyone enjoyed the British accent I gave my Siri, by the way. We were talking about that at one point. Changing the accent on your Siri really could change your world. It's an easy thing to change. Feel free to look into that.
I changed mine to a British accent, but I felt really judged by her.
And that's not what you want from your Siri.
No, like I'm in the car.
Yeah.
And it was, hey, Siri, play, 10,000 Maniacs. And American Siri would be like, okay, hang on a second. Am I wrong?
I never realized the sort of Southern Californian element of the Siri, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it would be non-judgmental and just be like, I got you, boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
British Siri. Now playing 10,000 Maniacs. As if to say, like, I don't know why you want to do this.
If that's what your uncultured ass would like, I suppose.
Now playing whatever.
I'll put that drivel on for you now, ma'am.
So then I was going to switch to Australian.
Yep.
And, now with my new phone. And I'm looking around, you guys.
She's got that look of
who heard me say that?
Did everyone catch that? Everyone in here, just Darek, catch me saying new phone. I got one.
It's like the people that wear like the Porsche hats.
Oh yeah.
But they drive a Honda.
Right.
Which is made by Honda. So, yeah.
Let's not even get into who makes all the cars. Good Lord.
I had a couple of things on my phone. I'm really trying to jump into the 21st century and put notes on my phone that I can actually access.
I do that too. I have a couple of things we could talk about real quick. Okay, so let's get back to the pins. We got to the smell, so that was one of the pins. The other pin was talking, you had mentioned like naming weird things or inappropriate names for stuff.
Like Sweet Angel.
Well, Sweet Angel, but
Dear
also like...
Sweet Angel.
But like also should we call like the episode like fuck this shit and see what Apple does?
Yep.
You had also earlier mentioned, I think right before we started recording, you had asked about Blink-182. Because I had mentioned that I'm currently listening to a couple of different podcasts, one of which is called 60 Songs That Explain the 90s. And
why it's not 90 songs that explain the 90s is really going to bother me.
Well, hopefully there's a follow-on 90 songs that explain the 60s, because I've listened to that too.
Yeah.
But so first I'd like to recommend the podcast, 60 Songs That Explain the 90s. It's on Spotify, so they can play like clips of songs throughout the show, which is kind of cool. The guy who hosts it is a lot. And that's coming from me.
Right, I was going to say.
So like, I'm
sitting this one out.
I consider myself to be overly wordy and a little pretentious. This guy is like, you'd think that he's writing a feature piece for, I would say Rolling Stone, but Rolling Stone almost isn't pretentious enough for his tone.
New York Times.
New York Times, exactly. But like
Sunday.
the music section
Sunday style
of the
section.
Sunday New York Times, exactly that. And it's just like
arts and leisure.
So the most recent episode, each episode's like an hour long. The intro to the episode, before he began talking about the song or the artist it was about, was 15 minutes. There was 15 minutes.
That's our entire podcast.
Well, but we have different topics. It's not like the podcast is about, there it goes, the light just went out. Right before this, we were trying to figure out the lighting in the room, and we turned on the overhead light, and it was a little bit too bright. And Kelly said, don't worry, one of those bulbs will go out mid-show. Just happened.
I'm sure it's safe.
Premonition. So anyway, if you can get over the pretentious host of 60 Songs Explain the 90s, you should do it. One of the episodes, because Kelly asked this, was one of them about Blink-182, and I said yes. And as much as Blink-182 is a hot button topic, I don't even need to get into it in terms of like whether you like them or not. The thing I wanted to point out was that they are so committed to their brand of immaturity that they named their holding company Pee Pee Poo Poo Limited.
One of them's dating a Kardashian now. Right?
Yes, I'm aware of this.
All right.
But they wanted the finance and business people, when referencing the holding company, to have to say, I think it's Pee Pee Poo Poo Butt. I believe that's what it's actually called.
Okay.
Like incorporated. And so they wanted them to have to say, I'm calling on behalf of Pee Pee Poo Poo Butt in business calls. And that in and of itself, isolated from all the other Blink-182 things, like that really makes me happy. Like that is the kind of move that I appreciate and cosign. So just wanted to put that out there. That's something that they did. Listen to 60 Songs That Explain the 90s. Give it a couple episodes if you can get over the guy. The one that I most recently listened to was about My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion.
Jesus Christ.
And so it's that song a lot.
Hell of a callback. The 15-minute intro related to Meatloaf's Paradise by the Dashboard Light. How it ties together, I'll let you explore that, listener, if you want to get into 60 Songs That Explain the 90s. The other podcast I'm listening to right now is Bandsplain, which is all about like deep diving into bands. But that led me to wonder, are there other podcasts aside from our own show? What are you playing right now? I just feel she needs to make an appearance on the show.
One of the best flute solos in all of pop music midway through this song.
I think it's a recorder.
Yeah.
Remember Mo Citro played it on the show.
That's the one. There's that one that's the recorder version of it that's just off key. It's fantastic.
There's nothing I like more than an instrument that is played intentionally off key.
Yep.
Because that's what I do. You know, when I sing off key and loudly.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
Like on purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, not really, but you
got to commit to the bit, and that's what you're doing there. I appreciate that.
Yep.
But I wanted to ask you, other than our show, are there other podcasts that you generally listen to, or is like, oh, there are. Okay, I'm curious what your podcast library kind of looks like. 'Cause this is a conversation that comes up a lot.
No, we can open it up
at work, where we talk about different podcasts. And, you know, it's just like, hey, you should watch this show or watch this movie. You're like, I'll definitely put that on the list. There is no list. You will not put it on it. But like that, you know, I'm always curious though what other people actually do listen to.
All right, hang on. I need to rearrange this studio.
Do we need to switch sides of the table? Would that be helpful?
To use, I can't. All right.
Kelly is contorting herself.
I really am. Down the Wormhole.
Ooh, okay.
I listen to.
What's that about?
It's basically it's the intersection between religion and science.
Oh, okay. So you listen to like
mental health.
Got it. You listen to like things with long-lasting value, like quality things that you might actually learn something. Not that Blink-182 named their holding company Pee Pee Poo Poo Butt. Got it.
I mean, you learned something and you shared it with me. I just finished listening to The Dropout, which is the Elizabeth Holmes trial.
Yep. Okay.
Stuff You Should Know.
Nice. That's a good one. Yep. I've
Brainwashed, which I don't really think I've listened to.
Okay.
The Apology Line. Ooh, have you listened to this?
No, what is that?
Okay. So it was an NYU student in the 90s or 80s, whatever, it doesn't matter. Well, I guess it kind of does.
Kind of matters. But
And somebody had confessed to a murder on an answering machine that a student had created, put up flyers and said, confess whatever you want.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was the whole thing.
That's cool.
Hell and High Water with John Heilman and a variety of guests. This is what I really love because I don't know why. I love when I see folks, journalists, and then when I hear their podcast when they're cursing a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's nothing better than Nicole Wallace dropping the F-bomb.
Yeah, the forward-facing persona and then like the private persona. So fun.
Way Too Early.
Okay.
Anderson Cooper's still on there for some reason. The Daily.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's always fun to look through your podcast library and be like, when the fuck did I ever listen to this?
I don't know why
is
Brian
this in my
Stelter's
library?
Reliable Sources is on there. Rachel Maddow, Brian Williams, Morning Joe.
Nice.
You know, the usual. I guess it's just like doom and gloom.
Well, so here's the thing, and this isn't. I don't want to generalize, which is something people say.
do.
Which is something people say when they want to generalize. But I think there is a certain like. Here, let me give a quick overview of what's. Oh, the light's back on.
Lights back on.
Coming back to
again.
you. Full
Safety.
brightness. Yeah. I think this will give a lot of insight into your and I personalities and why I think our team up on a podcast works.
Okay.
Because you've just described like insightful, educational, thought-provoking content that you listen to via podcasts. My podcast library, and I was looking at this just the other day, is I would say 80% pop culture,
Okay.
music and movies, 10% things like what we do, people talking about things and giving their thoughts on life, which is also kind of pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
And then just weird shit.
Okay.
So I listen to a podcast called Face Jam, which is a play on Space
I
Jam
knew that.
because their hosts' names are Michael and Jordan, and they couldn't call it the Michael Jordan podcast.
Oh, okay.
So they called it Face Jam.
Face Jam.
But it also relates to what they talk about, which is they eat limited edition fast food and review it. That is the whole podcast. They live in Texas. They go to fast food restaurants. They get limited edition items. They eat the food, and then they tell you about the food. I would say 30% of the show is about the food. 70% of the show is just them being nuts.
Okay.
And so I listen to that.
Okay.
And
I'm going to write that one down.
Yeah, Face Jam. It is wild and wacky and silly and stupid, and I love it so much. I should shout out Right and Nerdy. WRITINNERDY. Right and Nerdy.
Okay.
Great podcast name because it is
kind of like Riding Dirty.
like Ride and Dirty or White and Nerdy by Weird Al and Right and Nerdy. Great job. This is a podcast by a coworker of mine, Chris. Shout out Chris, and two of his friends who work remotely or who chime in remotely to his podcast that he's been doing through the pandemic. And it's just about nerd shit. It's about like video games and pop culture and movies and Star Wars and like all kinds of great stuff that they just chat about.
Okay.
And it's very similar to us. It's kind of like they come in with ideas. They're a little more focused, I would say, which is not a high bar in comparison to our show.
Right. So how is one measured against the other?
But great logo also. The headphones over the book.
Oh, yeah.
Really nice work. So that, again, though, that's pop culture and stuff. And then
Should we redo our logo?
So here's the thing about our logo. So anyone who's gotten a hat, one, if you have not sent us a picture, get on that nonsense, please. Because I'm staring at the ones that we have left. If you'd like a hat still, we have a few.
A pawful.
We got a pawful left.
Not a handful, it's a pawful.
A pawful. So definitely let us know if you want a hat. But I like the logo. It just needs to say podcast.
All right.
Because I have now had multiple people, I pass a few of these out at work for folks who are listeners of the show, and I've had multiple people be like, what's that? And not like, what's that podcast? Because how would you know? Because it doesn't say podcast on it. But I'm open to it.
But isn't that the conversation starter?
That's true. There is an element of mystery that is appealing. So, like, what is that? The thing I don't love about it is that if there are people like me who would never ask a relative stranger what the hat they're wearing is all about.
Okay.
If it said podcast, you could look it up yourself. You could go home and look up Bitter Coffee and be like on, iTunes and say, it's a podcast. I would be fully open to redoing our logo.
Okay.
Does anyone want to send us one? Do you think anybody out there has some skills that would want to design a logo for Bitter Coffee, or do you have something in mind specifically?
I have nothing in mind.
I happen to like it, but it was definitely Darek at 2 a.m. on like a site that provides logos. Doing lights back out.
Lights back out.
We should have
Sun's gone.
a counter.
Sun's gone back in. It's cloudy in the studio right now.
Sun's getting real low. Lamp. Sun's getting real low.
It's colder in here now.
It's suddenly cold, 8 degrees colder. It was definitely just like a spur of the moment thing. So I'd be totally open to redoing the logo. What do people out there think? Maybe I'll pretend like I'm going to put a poll up again. And ask what you think of our logo. Keep it or change it will be the options. Love to hear what you think, but maybe I'd be into that.
Okay. Yeah, we can figure that out.
Let's talk about that. When we got to figure out what the next sort of like merch thing is. We were having a little convo about that before we started recording, and we'll figure all that out too.
You know what makes me really nervous?
Tell me.
When I see videos of dogs standing at the top of mountains. Right?
I had a sip of water.
I'm sorry.
And no, it's not your fault. I mean, it kind of is.
I want you to remain hydrated.
It's so I thought that was going to relate to what we were talking about, and then it didn't.
No.
And so that made it even, because then I'm immediately thinking of a dog standing on the precipice of a mountain, and it is terrifying.
Yes.
And it is I'm like full of palpable anxiety because dogs are unpredictable, and
like
they
an
don't
unleashed dog.
Exactly.
Look at my dog on the top of the mountain.
They don't know better.
No. Get your goddamn dog off that mountain.
I follow a dog and cat on Instagram who are like adventure dog and cat. And they go out and roam the universe and like run through snow and mountains and stuff. And every time they're on some precipice, I'm like, please be careful of those animals.
Like looking over the edge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They don't know any better.
No.
Don't do that. Don't bring your dogs out to mountains and to look over the edge of mountains. No.
I just did.
You were trying to save us from the whole what do you listen for podcast journey
I
that we were on.
Whoa.
Oh, lights back on.
Lights back on. Remove a layer. You know?
Drink, everybody. Shots every time the light goes off or on. Anything else to talk about, Kelly?
No. You know what? I think we've... I don't even
run the gamut.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, apologies to anybody who tuned in for the Chang Report specifically. Sorry about that. Hope
I know I did.
I know. I did too. Tim, I could tell from his Facebook messages that Tim felt bad about it, but also, you know, he's had a tough couple weeks.
Is he okay?
No, he's fine. He just mentioned like part of it is it's been really busy. Part of it is that I just didn't really have anything to talk about. I think his quote was, "Now I understand why people struggle for content." It's like 4 weeks in and I'm like,
Well, these shows write themselves.
Yeah, the first few always do.
After that,
it's all
bad
downhill.
news.
Then you're talking about the fucking podcasts you listen to, and you're talking about smells in your house and all kinds of nonsense.
I mean, hard-hitting news stories. You know what I started saying? I was telling Michelle this.
Yeah.
I was doing something, probably getting the turkey smell
It's been
out
the
of my
focus
head.
of your
turkey
time.
burger smell. I want to be. I want to be very clear. And I said something to myself out loud, and I don't know what it was. It was like, oh, let me grab that, whatever it was, and then I followed up with the fucking. My mind has brought it back. The fucking. So it's back.
Shout out Eric Bartlett and his girlfriend. I think that's how it was, who always said, but fucking everything.
But I say it when there's nobody else around.
So we're all just hanging out, but fucking.
Oh, where's my phone? But fucking. It's great.
Take that with you if you need just something to trail off your thoughts with. But fucking.
But fucking.
Maybe that's the episode title again. Testing the limits.
Yeah, we could figure out like a unique spelling of it, right?
G's instead of CK.
But fucking. Let's thank our sponsors.
Let's do it,
shall we?
Thank our sponsors and get the fuck out of here.
Seriously.
People get on with their lives.
I want to thank the Polarity Foundation.
Thank you, Michelle.
Michelle Polarity celebrating 50 years of the Polarity Foundation.
Kelly's like NPR delivery face came on just
It really
now.
did.
It really did.
It really did.
Celebrating
And like my
50 years.
shoulders.
You like got your posture got really good and your eyebrows kind of came down a little bit. Celebrating 50 years on
I'm
this here
Lakshmi
planet.
Singh. Anyway.
Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate everything that you do for us and for the world.
Yeah. She's been, I don't know, kind of walking back and forth. I think
she's busy.
Yeah, she's
busy
doing
out
something
there.
with like a new bathroom vanity.
Okay.
And there was an incident when she had to return one.
Oh, God.
And get another one. And there was a person in a pickup truck. And I don't know, just it was a whole thing. And she was like rumbling in the Lowe's parking lot or something.
She was telling a story and complaining how I don't pay attention to her. I don't remember what she was saying.
I don't remember. Also want to thank Green Mountain Foster Bikes. Tim and Tanya have their hats.
Nice.
And they sent a pic. I should send that to you. We'll put it on the socials.
Are they on bikes?
Tim is, yeah.
Yes.
Tim's on a bike.
Excellent.
And shout out to Craig Stewart. Your hat should be here by the time this episode drops.
Nice.
Ellie Wood sent us a pic of her hat. Your mom.
Yeah,
sent a picture.
Mom with the low quality snap of the hat.
That's just old
Not
school
here to judge.
Polaroid.
I love it.
I love
it so much.
Thank you. I love the fact that people are listening to the show and sending us pics
and like want to wear our merch,
hats.
are like willing to be seen in the things that we put out.
It's nice,
That's
right?
really nice. We appreciate that.
Among them, Green Mountain Foster Bikes.
Indeed.
Let me see. Where did their information go?
I know it's for gents. I've recalled that.
You know what? It's a new phone. Okay.
Trying to figure out how to navigate
Trying
this
to figure out
technology.
this
Okay.
very, very fancy phone.
If you just think hard enough, it'll show up.
Nope,
I think that's how it works. Okay.
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Green Mountain Foster Bikes, giving rebuilt and donated bikes to foster kids in Vermont. They are located at 10 North Main Street in Virgins. And it is also the home of Little City Cycles, a place to find your new friend in a magic bike. You can reach them by phone at 802-877-3000, not to be confused with University of Vermont Medical Center at 847-3000.
If you need a bike or you have a medical emergency, you now have the phone numbers.
Here's the thing. I think there's a better chance of Green Mountain Foster Bikes helping you if you have a medical emergency than UVM Medical Center.
So try both numbers.
Try both. I would go 877-3000 first.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think the wait would be a bit less. Anyway. But,
Thank you.
No bitterness here.
No, none here on Bitter Coffee.
Yeah, I think that's all I have. I think clearly that's all you have the patience for today.
And when the you here we mean is you, everyone.
Right? So thanks again, everybody, for listening. And we will talk to you in 2 weeks.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Sweet Angel out.